The following podcast has been rated PGN. Parental guidance is neglected.
Boy, it's been a long time since we've had a little father-son chat.
I am your father.
Father, if you can hear me, I failed.
Don't let your mother smell that beer on your breath. She'll take it out on me.
I'm here with my dad.
I know what you're gonna say, son. And you're right. You're right.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
I've abandoned my boy!
Welcome back, everybody. We have made our triumphant return. Jackson Burns, returning from overseas, abroad. No shows, no movie reviews, no updates on what kind of horrific art films he's been looking at for the last month. We promised you we'd be back, and we are. I held the fort down while we were gone. I hope you enjoyed, if you're following me on the social media, all my reviews of some of the films that have already come out this year. Jackson left the country so he could avoid things like Plane and Megan.
And thank God I did, because...
maybe you didn't.
Maybe not.
Maybe
but
not.
Something tells me that if I had been here,
yeah,
I might not have been too hot.
You probably wouldn't have been too hot. So we're probably saving everybody. Although I must tell you, Jackson, both... not Plane. Megan, huge box office hit over here. I mean, they've already greenlit...
Really?
Yep, already greenlit a sequel.
Huh.
Yeah, everyone apparently loves psychotic dancing android dolls because... And I'll talk about it a little bit in a bit. How are you doing, buddy? Welcome back. You are not home, though. You are already back at school. We don't want to bore everybody with your stupid French expedition stories. But overall, if they don't remember or know, you were in France for about 5 weeks. How was it?
It was good. I was in Paris for a couple of weeks. It was a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. Took a good class through my school over there. Really busy, but got to see all the sights. You know, a lot of rude interactions from Parisians. Now, you know the drill.
A lot of people think you were making movies over there. Were you in fact doing any filming or making of movies? A lot of people thought, oh, he must be over there with his camera doing French cinema.
No. 2.5 weeks is incredibly short to be making a film. So no, the class I was taking was just it was called Paris and the Modern Experience, and it was basically just modernism in Paris. It was good. It was a good class. We did watch a movie. We saw a movie.
Oh, okay. So that means
I can talk about that later, I guess. But
yeah, was it White Chicks?
Wow, I'm surprised you even got
that.
It was White Chicks.
I know, as much as I've referenced that movie, do you know your mother and I were watching TV last night, just flipping around, and just this month added to HBO Max, White Chicks. Yep.
Thank God. You know what I will say, though, is that...
Didn't watch it, still have never seen it, but I love referencing it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
What do you want to say?
Because we have a TV in my dorm, and we don't have cable.
Right.
We just have streaming services. But I miss being flipping around and being like, oh, yeah, the second half of Jurassic Park 3 is on. Let's just put it on and see Jeff Goldblum get chased by a T-Rex through the city or something.
If you get to that part in cable TV where it's like all the TBS channels and then TNT and AMC, it's kind of all those little second-tier cable channels. At any time, if you flip through there, they're either showing the Back to the Future movies, some of the Jurassic Park films,
Harry
Potter's, Fast and Furiouses, maybe a little, around the holidays, they got the Christmas Story marathon going. It's like they're just showing those movies that you just kind of go, well, I guess I'm going to watch the second half.
It's always the franchise marathons. It always is.
Yeah, for some reason. And we keep buying them. They're saying, by the way, franchises, they're saying the next Fast and the Furious is the final one in the franchise. And here's what you're going to love. It's so big, it's so huge, it's being split into 2 films.
Oh my God! So it's not.
It's not even the last one, but they're like.
Not even, all I know is that I didn't see the last one.
I haven't seen like the last 4.
But I heard they went to space.
They did go to space and
that's enough for me to be
out
of the loop.
But there's so much furiousness and fastness that they couldn't fit all that into one film, Jackson. It's too much
fastness.
There's too much story.
They're getting too furious over there, man. They're getting too furious.
So they're breaking that one up. So you had a good time in France. You're settled back in school. Now your classes start when? Are you back into courses? Monday. So you're back into it. All right.
So 2 days as of recording this.
Gotcha. So, are you anxious to get back into school, or are you like somewhat excited, or are you like, oh God, I can't wait? Where are you with this?
I'm excited, but I'm a little nervous. I have my small, like my first project, like actual film project this semester, where I have a class where I basically just spend the whole semester developing a film. Really nervous for that, but also excited. That should be a lot of fun. And I'm ready to get back in the swing of things. I'm ready for things to get for the ball to get rolling.
For the ball to get rolling. All right, look at you. Are you going to be writing a movie this semester, or are you just going to be filming one? Do you have to do everything, or what do you?
Everything.
Everything.
Except for the IP class for my own project, I have to come up with a story, write it, direct it, edit it, sound design it. And then I have other people who will help me with other stuff, but that's it.
All right. Can I pitch an idea to you?
Hit me.
Okay. Original idea here.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a small film, so this is something I think you could shoot on kind of your budget.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. It's two men who have been friends for years and years and years, almost into a point where every day they get together at the same pub and have a pint together and share the anecdotes. But then one day, one of them decides he doesn't want to be his friend anymore.
Yep.
And that's how it starts.
And we'll call it the Ghouls of Simi Valley.
Oh, has this been done before?
Maybe just a little bit.
Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and give a shout out. The husband of your former college aide, Steve, he told me that him and his entire family absolutely hated that movie, hated the Banshees of Inisherin.
That's a weird one because I know a lot of people that have seen it, and I've heard people that are like yeah, it was good. I've never heard someone hate that movie.
Yeah,
That's
hated
crazy.
it. And of course, what do you think the very first? It's just, when people don't like that movie, it's always the same thing.
Too slow.
Why did he cut his fingers? They're like, why? I don't get it. Why? What? I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know where to start. But I've sent him articles like explaining like where his head is, and failed musician and a life whatever. It's like it's what it is.
No amount of articles will probably change their mind, and that's fine. Everyone has their own taste, but also your taste has been.
There's a different hairstyle for everyone. Speaking of Banshees, I'll just use it as a segue. Banshees of Inisherin, and I believe All Quiet on the Western Front, garnering 9 Academy Award nominations, second only to what film, Jackson?
Everything Ever All at Once.
Everything,
with 11 nominations.
11 nominations. Jackson and I, the Academy Award nominations came out while he was in France. We will have a episode of the PGN podcast, the only father-son debating film podcast out there. We will have an episode coming up in the weeks where we are going to give our Oscar predictions and our Oscar hopes. Basically, we'll break down each category and say the film that we want to win and the one that we think will win. When they may be the same, might be different. But since they are out now and everyone's been talking about them, why don't we start off with this? We're going to go through the major categories and kind of just give our thoughts on exactly what got nominated, what didn't, was there a snub, is there something really wrong about this? Best Picture, Jackson, they went with all 10. Now, they've always said they can nominate up to 10, but they haven't always nominated 10. This year they did. The one foreign film that's in the rankings here, unless Triangle of Sadness is. I don't know if is that a foreign film? I feel like that was an American-funded film.
Well, no, because they changed it. They changed it from foreign film to foreign language film, and so it should still be in the regular category. Yeah.
Yeah. So, All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, The Fabelmans, Tar, Top Gun: Maverick, and Triangle of Sadness, as well as Sarah Polley's Women Talking. Obviously, if you're going to talk about a snub here, I looked at my list of films, and I think the big snub for me is I can see The Whale not making the list, or Cha Cha Real Smooth, or even Empire of Light, which I love, but I understand people it did not resonate with them.
Yeah.
But I was really sad The Menu was not on here.
I can agree with that. I know a lot of people were upset with Nope getting pretty much no nominations.
Yeah, Nope getting shut out of everything. I don't even think it got a screenplay, or it might have snuck in for visual effects, but I think it got nothing. I think Nope got Nope.
I'm very excited for Triangle of Sadness. They got a lot more nominations than I was expecting, although I do wish that some of their supporting cast, some of their actors got more nominations. I would have loved to see the captain. I can't remember any of the actors' names. But
none of the acting. The actress who ends up
Woody
being
Harrelson.
Be the leader. No. Although I think I'll get to it. He did get a director. Well, we'll bring it up now since we kind of mentioned it. The directors were Ruben Östlund, Triangle of Sadness, Todd Field for Tar, the Dans for Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, Martin McDonagh for The Banshees of Inisherin, and Steven Spielberg, of course, for The Fabelmans. Everyone's saying here the big thing is that Ruben got nominated instead of James Cameron. How do you? I know your thoughts on Avatar.
Yeah,
I know your thoughts on Avatar, but is that?
I'm very happy with that list.
Right.
I don't know if I would change that at all.
I don't know if I'd have Spielberg on there. I didn't like Tar, but I think Todd Field did a great job with the film. I just don't know. Again, I know I'm kind of harping on The Menu a little bit. I would have liked it. That's not even best film. I guess out of all the best films that got nominated, I would have rather seen the director of All Quiet on the Western Front get nominated.
Oh, yeah, I actually do agree with you on that. Yeah.
I think I would have even Sarah Polley. Here's the other thing: no women in Best Directing. Sarah Polley did not get nominated, even though the film did, for Best Director. Catherine Wells for After Sun. There was a lot of heat on her, but unfortunately,
I want to see that so bad, but it's not playing anywhere.
Yeah,
and the only way you can stream it is like $20 to buy it, and it's like, well, I'm not going to do that. So get it on streaming, guys. I'm trying to watch this movie, and I can't. And it's really upsetting.
But yeah, as far as what I would, I'm not going to put Baz Luhrmann in there over to these people. I'm not going to put.
I also would not do that.
I'm not going to put Joseph. I can't remember his last name. Joseph K for Top Gun. So no, I'm pretty happy with the list, and I understand a lot of people love The Fabelmans, but.
Okay, I have a question, because I know you did like Top Gun a lot. I wasn't the biggest fan,
right?
Personally.
Uh-huh.
Do you, in your heart of hearts, believe that it deserves to be on that top 10 movies of the year list for Best Picture amongst all of those other, what I would consider to be pretty fantastic movies, with some exceptions?
Well, no, because Top Gun was not in my top 10 list. If it was a perfect world, Cha Cha Real Smooth,
it would just be
and The Whale. So do I think it was one of the top 10 films of the year? No. Am I infuriated that it's there in place of like The Whale or The Menu? I'm bummed, but I'm not like, it's not like I'm looking at it going, "What? That movie was a debacle. It has no point." I mean,
yeah.
It's not like if Top Gun Maverick was there and The Banshees was not, or films that I felt, just more passionately about, I'd be upset. But I'm okay. It's not going to win anything. It's not going to. I don't want to.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert on our predictions. I don't think anyone's picking Top Gun to win Best Film. So.
Yeah, no, that's it. It's not gonna.
Yeah.
I agree.
Best actors was Austin Butler in Elvis, Colin Farrell, The Banshees of Inisherin, Brendan Fraser, The Whale, Paul Mescal was the big surprise here from After Sun, and Bill Nye also sneaking in for Living, a movie that I still have to watch. Now that there's an Academy Award nominee, I have to see it. And I guess we have to hunt down after Sun here to find Paul Mescal. What did you think about actor? Anyone jumping out at you that should have been on there? I personally, and we'll get to it, I still don't think Ki-Hyu Kwan. I thought that was a lead role. I
did too, because that list came out and my heart dropped because I was like, oh no,
right.
He just got snubbed. And then I was like, oh, supporting act. I mean, he's not. I guess Michelle Yeoh is the lead, but I mean, I
thought he played.
It's really the three of them. They're pretty evenly spread. So I was confused on that as well.
I think it's the same way. I think the studios decide who they're going to. Because remember, the studios have to submit them for that category. It's the same thing with Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson. No one's going to convince me that Brendan Gleeson is a supporting actor in Banshees of Inisherin.
Yeah, no.
But the studios go, we don't want them going up against each other. We want to give both of them a chance to win. Yeah. So they submit Colin Farrell for Best Actor, and they submit Gleeson for Supporting Actor. But
with Everything Everywhere, it doesn't make sense because no one would be going for a supporting, or he's the only male role in that film besides the dad.
Strategically, they might go, he has a better chance in Supporting Actor of actually winning than he would if he went up against Elvis.
I guess so.
And Brendan. But I don't have any major problems with that.
I don't either.
I mean, I'm a little bummed I haven't seen two of the performances. So After Sun and Living are now on my list.
Yeah, I haven't heard any. I don't even know what that movie's about, to be completely honest. So I'm very curious to see.
Well, I have a copy. I'll let you
All right, cool.
Take it with you. Do you have a DVD player?
I do.
Oh, okay. Well, you can take it with you. I'll try to watch it before you're down. Best Actress, Cate Blanchett in Tar. No surprise there. A little bit of a surprise on Ana de Armas. She's been nominated a few times, but that movie was so universally panned. She got nominated for Blonde. Michelle Williams for The Fabelmans. Expected Michelle Yeoh, obviously Everything Everywhere All at Once. Here's the big story, though. Who is this Andrea Riseborough in a film called To Leslie? That
I thought you were gonna know what that was because I read that and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Well,
who is,
I did
not to diss her. I just don't know who that is.
It's a smaller film that came out that nobody saw early in the year. Apparently, there was a huge online push, especially from a lot of celebrities. I read an article that Charlize Theron and Gwyneth Paltrow and a bunch Jennifer Aniston have all been doing an online push campaign to get this woman nominated. And obviously, they've got some connections with the Academy. So I heard she's...
it's got Mark Maron in it.
Yeah, Mark Maron is in it. Allison Janney is in it. It looks like a little down-home story of a single mom struggling with, alcohol and raising a kid. And she looks great in it. But, man, I'm sure she's fantastic. But my first thoughts when I see this list is I can't believe Viola Davis isn't on it. That's my big disappointment.
Yeah, I have heard a lot of people are really upset about that.
Yeah. And, no African-American women on the list. The woman from Till, which we still have not seen. The movie
I wouldn't have been mad.
reviews.
I wouldn't have been mad with. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm forgetting her name. The girl from Nope. I honestly think both of the actors, the leads from Nope. I think. Keke Palmer. Thank you. I think she was fantastic in that. I think that. Jesus, I'm forgetting everyone's name right now. What is?
The guy from Judas.
Male.
Yeah, Judas from Get Out and that guy.
Daniel Kaluuya. Daniel Kaluuya.
Oscar winner, by the way, Daniel
Kaluuya. I think both of them could have been nominated, and I would have been happy, too.
You saw Blonde. I didn't. I don't really know how good she was in this, and I'm not taking anything away from Andrea Riseborough, but I mean... there was no buzz on this at all before the Oscars. So
yeah, I think I've mentioned it before. Ana de Armas was really good in Blonde as playing somebody who could have been Marilyn Monroe. I don't think she sounded like Marilyn Monroe at all. She sounded like Ana de Armas.
It was maybe her interpretation of it, or
the whole movie was someone's interpretation of Marilyn Monroe. So it's not surprising to me that so was the performance.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. Supporting actor Brendan Gleeson, we just mentioned for the Banshees of Inisherin. Brian Tyree Henry, this was a bit of a surprise from the Apple TV movie Causeway. Judd Hirsch gets his nomination of The Fabelmans instead of Paul Dano from The Fabelmans.
I would agree with that, though. I'm not upset with that.
I agree with it too. I told you after we saw the film, I thought Judd Hirsch was going to get an Oscar nomination for that. Barry Keoghan for The Banshees of Inisherin, and Ki-Hugh Kwan from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
Again, who is missing that I think should be on there? If any supporting actors, the three heavyweights, Brendan Gleeson, Barry Keoghan, and Ki-Hugh Kwan. We all knew those three. Is there somebody that I would see on there instead of Judd Hirsch? And I haven't seen Brian Tyree Henry's performance in Causeway. I don't know. I don't think Tom Hanks and Elvis. I don't think.
I don't think so either.
I love.
Although it is just dawning on me now that no one from All Quiet on the Western Front was nominated for Best Actor or Supporting Actor. I think that's fucking despicable because they were. There were some stellar performances in that.
Yeah, it got. Like I said, it got 9 nominations. It's a lot of it's technical.
They did so good in that though. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah. I really like the guy in I can't remember his name now in Women Talking. Remember Jackson? He's from.
He was in The Lobster.
You love
as well.
him in The Lobster. He deserves. Look him up. He deserves recognition. He was great in Women Talking.
He was great.
The one male actor who's kind of
Ben Whishaw.
Yeah. I would have loved to see him sneak on there, but again, there's been no heat on him, so I'm okay with that one. I guess. I think we all know where the pendulum's swinging on that one, probably, anyways.
Yeah.
Best adapted, I believe, screenplay. No, is this a or no? That's what category do I have on up there? Cinematography. All Quiet on the Western Front. Finally, something for Empire of Light. Roger Deakins. Bardo got a cinematography. Elvis got cinematography, and Tar got a cinematography. Now you're the cinematography guy.
Yeah.
What are you?
This is a great list. However, it is
missing?
Despicable to me that the Batman isn't on this list.
Yeah, I had a feeling you were going there.
It looked so good.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, I think it could have knocked Elvis off any day of the week, personally. But then again, it's just not my style. Baz Luhrmann wasn't my style, but the Batman just looks so good, iconic for the time. So much buzz around it. Love that red. Come on, guys. The Batman, bring it in there. And I don't even think it got nominated for score, which was really upsetting too.
Yeah. Nope.
Movie got snubbed.
Yep. Then you got your screenplays. It looks like the original. Correct me if I look this up, Jack. Look up the screenplay nominations. I think I have them.
We'll start reading them off, and I'll tell you if it's adapted or not.
Tar, The Fabelmans. Everything.
That's original.
Okay, so yeah, best original screenplay: Tar, The Fabelmans, Tony Kushner and Spielberg, the Dan Boys for Everything Everywhere All at Once, Martin McDonough, The Banshees of Inisherin, and Ruben Östlund, Triangle of Sadness. Again, not a fan of Tar, but I'm never going to take anything away from Tar because I feel like
me either.
I agree.
It just was not for me.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna. Again, The Fabelmans was not up there for me, but again, I'm going to sound like a broken record. I'm just like, where the hell is the menu? That was
Really, I'm going to say, where the hell is Women Talking? I think that screenplay really was so strong, and I'm really kind of confused how it didn't make this list. I thought it was a great screenplay.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that's an adapted screenplay. I think it did get nominated.
It didn't get nominated for adapted.
Oh, never mind.
Either. Huh. Adapted screenplays, I believe, is. Oh, you know what I missed? I missed supporting actresses. Supporting actress was Hong Che from The Whale, Carrie Condon, The Banshees of Inisherin, Jamie Lee Curtis, Everything Everywhere All at Once, Stephanie Hsu, right? From Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Angela Bassett from Black Panther. Not. I think the big surprise there, Hong Che maybe was not expected for The Whale, but she did great work this year in both that and even more so in the menu, so I'm okay with her. I'm afraid Stephanie Hsu, everyone got excited that she got the nomination. I'm just afraid her and Jamie Lee Curtis are probably going to split.
I know, that's really unfortunate. I really think it should go to Stephanie, personally. Yeah. Jamie Lee's had her time, and Stephanie really did so good in that movie.
Yeah. I think we know.
Which, by the way, Everything
What?
Ever All at Once is back in theaters for a limited time.
Oh
so
my gosh!
Get your tickets, guys.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen it.
Do you see they're re-releasing Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon?
I did, and I'm gonna see that because I've never seen it before.
Yeah, it's a great.
So
film.
I've got to go see it.
Well, I'll be curious to see if it holds up because I mean I saw it 20, 25, whatever years ago it was, but I have a feeling that's being done because of all the heat on Everything and Michelle Yeoh.
I know
right
it is.
I was like,
know it is for
they're
sure.
like,
yeah.
oh, it's the anniversary. I'm like, yeah,
Right.
but there's the anniversaries of lots of movies that you're not showing again.
Yeah.
The last category we'll talk about is the adapted screenplay. That was All Quiet on the Western Front, Glass Onion, A Knives Out Mystery, which I didn't know was adapted from anything.
It's adapted from Knives Out. That's why.
Oh, okay. Living, once again, which is that Bill Nye movie that we have to see. Top Gun Maverick, and I'm missing one. I don't know. What was the other? Maybe it was only 4?
No, I feel like there was one more. Let me look it up.
Yeah, what else was adapted screenplay? Yes, I don't know. No female directors this year.
Women Talking. Women Talking did get one.
Oh, Women Talking did get one.
Yeah,
okay, so
thank
I missed
God.
that.
Okay,
So-
I was like, that should have gotten some. Okay, good.
Yeah, so I'd say the one surprise for me on there is Top Gun Maverick screenplay. I mean,
Yeah.
well, all right.
You know how I feel about it. It's Top Gun Maverick.
And I guess it's adopted because it's taken from another
It's from
movie?
Top Gun. Yeah.
Top Gun. I don't know. I feel like adapted should be like it came from a book or something.
Yeah,
or a
source.
play.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
As a sequel,
seems weird to me.
Not really.
You didn't really adapt it. You just added on.
Yeah, you continued it. You didn't take the thing and redo it, but and then without getting all the nominees, are you okay that Decision to Leave did not get nominated for Best Foreign Language Film?
I haven't seen a lot of the foreign language films that got nominated this year, so I don't know.
Right.
As long as, listen, I love Decision to Leave. As long as All Quiet made it, then I was like, okay, that because that was such a good movie. And as much as I didn't like Bardo, I also wish that had gotten more recognition. Because I, to be so honest, that I have not, I still think about that movie sometimes.
Yeah.
And that's something to be said about. And I hope it wins cinematography to some extent because it looked really great too.
What wins cinema? Oh, All Quiet on the Western Front.
No, Bardo.
Bardo didn't get nominated for cinematography. Oh, yes, it did. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it
You're
did.
right. Yeah, it did. Yeah, the movie looked fantastic. I liked it a little bit more than you did, actually.
Yeah. Which is weird. You would think it would be the other way around, just the way that movie is, but
right. So there you have just some of our thoughts on Oscars. Like I said, we will have more. We'll have a special episode where we break down them all and give our thoughts on who should win and who will win in the coming weeks. We did manage to see a few new movies this week. I saw a couple. Jackson saw one as well. But before we get to the dregs of January, or maybe not. Maybe we were pleasantly surprised.
Who knows?
Jackson, it's that time.
I know. I'm pulling up the
here we go. Everyone, welcome.
Right
It's Jackson's pretentious art house film corner. Unfortunately, I think the bad news for all of our listeners who I'm not going to say hate this segment, but more don't quite get it. I think the boy saw a lot of films on planes, so strap in.
I did see a lot of
Let us
planes.
know if we can bring you a cocktail. Jackson, what pretentious art house corner films did you catch up with this particular down period?
On the way to Paris, I only saw 2 movies. I saw a movie called This Is England. It's another British movie directed by Shane Meadows.
What is this called? What are you talking about now?
It's called This Is England.
This Is England. Was that like a travel guide or something? Or did you accidentally watch a travel guide and you thought it was a movie? There was a lot of drone shots.
So today
of the
I'm gonna be rating the safety instructional video they showed on the plane. No, This Is England is a movie by Shane Meadows, starring Stephen Graham. And it tells the story of a young kid who kind of dives into the skinhead culture in England during kind of the Thatcher reign of Britain. Really, really great. Highly recommend it. Politically charged film with a killer ending. I'm giving this 9 out of 10. I'm going kind of quick because I got a lot to go through here. The next one I watched, this one's a little more out there.
On behalf of the audience, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. This one, Dad, I want to get your opinion on this. This is a movie called On the Silver Globe. It's kind of in that vein of like the Russian like Tarkovsky like sci-fi stuff.
Okay.
But it got shut down halfway through production because of funding issues from the government. And so instead of waiting to finish the movie, the guy said, I'm just going to, in all the shots that are missing, all the scenes that are missing, I'm just going to narrate what would be happening over just random shots of people walking in town in like an actual city. I hated this. It was really bad. I'm sorry, but it was so boring. The style got really old. The story was confusing as hell because, god damn it, it's half finished. Just not for me at all.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with
not for anybody. Go ahead.
No, yeah, 3 out of 10 on that one. This is the movie that I watched for class. This is a remake of Les Miserables that was made in 2019 for Amazon. Was it directed by a guy named Laj Lee.
Was it called Fast and the Furious 7?
It was not.
They were they were almost identical, Jackson.
No, they're so similar.
Yeah.
But this is a retelling that puts instead the characters in the slums of Paris, and it follows 3 police officers. I've never seen the original Les Mis, so I don't understand the correlation.
Is this the musical Les Mis, or this?
No.
No. So this is just them talking. It's not Russell Crowe pretending to sing.
It is not.
Really bad.
It is French, very reminiscent of La Haine, which I know that you've seen. And this was a good movie. I don't think it was great, but it definitely had some strong messages and a killer ending. And I'm going to go with a 7 out of 10 on Les Mis. Good choice by the teacher. On the way back, we're getting to some more. I've got 2 kind of more known movies in a row here.
My apologies. Everyone, we're going to be back with relevant information.
We're almost there. So I went and watched The Post. This is a 2017 Steven Spielberg movie with Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks.
Yeah, I was really underwhelmed with. There's a lot of people sitting around talking about whether they should print an article or not print an article.
Yeah, and Bob Odenkirk I thought was really great in this. He had a little supporting role that I thought he did a good job in, because God, I love Bob Odenkirk. He's a great guy.
He's good. He's got a new TV show coming out. He jumped right back into a TV series.
He does. I did hear about that actually,
yeah.
but I haven't seen anything, reviews or anything.
I don't know. He grew a beard for it. I just saw a quick trailer of it, but
yeah.
Oh, he's got
interesting.
A beard. He's Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with a 4 out of 10 on The Post. Not too crazy, not too out there.
I agree.
I sat down and rewatched Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Oh yeah,
it's so funny. It's a classic.
Is it Monty Python's best movie?
No.
I've
only seen 2 of their movies. I've only seen Life of Brian and Holy Grail.
You like Life of Brian?
But I think Life of Brian is better. I think it's more put together.
Yeah.
I think that Holy Grail is more like skit based, just kind of like bouncing back and forth. Life of Brian's got more of a structure, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. I actually am a big fan of Meaning of Life, and most people do.
I have to see that. Yeah.
Most people don't care for Meaning of Life, and it is definitely much more sketches tied together.
Yeah.
There's not a real through line to it. But to me, it has some of the best sketch work that they've ever done. But Life of Brian is usually considered their masterpiece, if they will. For
sure. But I think Holy Grail's got the more iconic moments. You know, the Knights Who Say Ni, the dumb French people, which I thought was especially funny coming back from France.
And you were like, wow, that's actually true.
Yeah,
really are. Making like that.
Making our way down, I also sat down and saw Arrival. Denis Villeneuve.
Hated it.
I never know how to pronounce it.
Hated it.
I like this a lot. Actually. I thought it was really creative.
Amy Adams talking to a spider web for 2 hours. I was bored.
It was so creative. Get out of town and look. It looked great.
Creative schmative. Boring.
You suck. Don't steam. Stop steamrolling me. God damn it. Let me get a sentence out. It was good. It was a good movie. I give it an 8. I give it an 8 out of 10.
What did you like about it? I won't steamroll you. What did you like about it? You like watching a woman talk to a blob?
No, I thought it was cool. I thought it was interesting just to see how they've handled that issue. I thought it was interesting seeing how like the circular structure kind of came to be. You know, it was confusing, but in the good way, where I was like, oh, I'm trying to put the pieces together, but then it came together enough at the end where I was like, okay, now I understand what's happening. I just liked it a lot. I thought conceptually it was great. I don't think it's his best, but I liked this a lot for sure.
Okay. I'm gonna pass.
Yeah. Two more iconic movies and then two more art house ones.
Oh my goodness, you were busy. Did you
I know.
study when you were in France? Did you see the tower?
Most of these were just in the airport.
Oh, okay.
I know I told you this, but I sat down and watched Hoop Dreams, the documentary.
Yes,
Don't watch many documentaries, but I know this one's gotten a lot of buzz around it. Obviously, it's Hoop Dreams.
Well, let me preface what you're going to say is that this movie got a ton of buzz 20 some years ago, maybe more than that, when we hadn't seen anything like this before. We've probably seen documentaries like this ad nauseum now. But does it hold up? Does it hold up?
You know, it does. I don't think it was. I didn't watch and go, "Oh my god, like this is incredible."
Right.
But I liked it. I liked the story. I think that if it was about a topic I was a little more passionate about, I would have been more invested. I'm not a big basketball guy personally, but I think that I was rooting for the kids the whole time. I was biting my teeth watching them try to get through school and stuff. And so I'm going a seven on Hoop Dreams.
I think they did a follow up. I don't know if it was a made.
They did, because I was looking into it.
They did. It kind of catches up with the two of them. It follows two, young basketball players who strive. Yeah,
it's called Life After Hoop Dreams. It came out in 2015. So,
is it a full length? Is it a feature film?
40 minutes.
Yeah,
40 minutes.
Yeah, it's like a quick just update. Spoiler alert: neither one made it to the NBA.
Yeah. One of them got close though. Actually, I did read one of them got close.
He got close.
Then finally, I sat down and finally got to Hal Ashby's being there with Peter Sellers.
Oh. You haven't seen Being There before?
No, I've never seen a Hal Ashby movie before this, actually.
Wow.
I haven't seen How to Maud.
Yeah, but Being There is considered his best.
Yeah, and I love Peter Sellers, so I was like, okay, this is going to be right up my alley.
Oh. Jackson, you're a film student. I think by law you're supposed to worship Being There. I hated it. I'm not a fan.
Way too on the nose. Yeah. I don't think this aged well. It's just fully predictable. Where I was like, all right, the story of this simple guy who goes out in the big city and then somehow gets into trouble, and it's what happened. He just got. And I thought the ending, and I'm not worried about spoiling this. This movie's
it's ancient.
Came out in 1979. The ending is he's Jesus. He walks on water in the end, and I thought that was really. I mean, I guess I know this is an adapted story, but I thought it was really cheap.
He was a butler, Jackson. He started as a butler.
He was a gardener.
Gardener. That's how long it's been since I've seen it.
But I mean, Peter Sellers is great, but I don't think the script gave him enough to do. Where it was just like, okay, here he goes again. He's gonna do the thing, like where he is the idiot or like the simple guy, as they call it back in the 70s. It just got really tiring. It felt very long. I understand what it was going for, and I appreciate it. And for that, I'm going to give it a 4 for being there, which is a little bit shocking.
You sound like you're apologizing to me. I hated it.
I'm apologizing to the film world.
I know, because you
like a sham.
You're going to get hate mail from film kids on this one.
I know. Listen. Okay. And then now we got two more art house ones to go, and then
we're gonna have to do a whole separate podcast for this freaking segment.
Okay, so in the airport, I sat down and watched a movie by a director that I've heard a lot about named Michael Haneke. It's a movie called Funny Games.
I've seen Funny Games.
Well, you have, but here's the thing.
I saw the
Funny
remake.
Games originally came out, but this is what's interesting. It originally came out in 1997 and is in German, but in 2007, the same director remade the whole movie in English, but it's frame for frame, line by line, the exact same movie. So I watched both. And
really?
I did. Because, I didn't know, but going into the remake, that it was the same thing.
Games
I just watched it.
If I'm correct, Funny Games is a story of two rich youths who take a family by prison in their home, right? And then torture them.
Yeah, they take a family, but it's also one of them breaks the fourth wall, and it's kind of about violence in media and how we're kind of trained to not look away. The original was amazing. I loved the original so much.
And then who were the two actors in the? It wasn't Tim Roth, was it? Was Tim?
It
Roth?
It was Tim Roth and Naomi Watts were the two, and everyone else was unknowns.
Yeah, the two young guys, I can't remember who they are.
No one I had ever heard of before, and I don't think they didn't do much after this. But the remake. It was still good, but the style doesn't work in English. It only really works in German. Just kind of the deliveries felt really flat, and it works in German because it's German just is kind of like that
It's very
naturally. Whereas
they're very presentational.
They are, and it was the American one didn't translate as well, so that's it. And then I apologize. I have one more movie. I've got one more to go.
No, listen.
I think you're gonna be interested in this, though. You're gonna be interested in this.
I'm gonna be interested in this
I
one?
finally sat down and watched. Remember when we watched The Worst Person in the World, and you said that there's a trilogy?
Yes,
it's the end of a trilogy.
It's the third of. You watched the first two?
I watched the first one. I'm gonna watch the second one soon. It was called Reprise.
What is it called? Reprise?
Yeah, Reprise, and it stars the same guy who played Axel in The Worst Person in the World. He was the first boyfriend, the cartoonist. I don't know how they connect yet. I think they all just take... It's like very loose, like they just take place in the same city type deal.
Very loosely connected, I think, yes.
Yeah. And I did like this, but it definitely... A lot of growth between the two, for sure. I mean, this came out in 2006.
Gotcha.
The director, Joachim Trier, I know has done at least 2 movies in between this and The Worst Person in the World, and it shows. There are inklings of stuff that would come to be, and definitely a lot of great sequences, but overall I wasn't as big of a fan as The Worst Person in the World. But with that being said, still like this a lot. 7 out of 10 for Reprise, and I'll let you know. I might watch Oslo.
Oslo is the second entry in that.
Yeah, Oslo 31st August is the second one that I might sit down today to watch. We'll see how time allots it. But that's it. But that's it from Ariel's Corner. Wasn't that so fast and speedy?
So yeah. I'm glad I paid all that money for you to go to France. Apparently you've been...
None of those were watched. Only one of those was watched while I was actually in France, and it was the one for class.
Oh, okay.
Everything else was in the airports, in the airplane, or back home here.
How is the travel? It's a nightmare, isn't it? Doesn't it suck traveling?
Going there wasn't so bad. Coming back was a nightmare. Yeah. A lot of throwing stuff out of my bag that shouldn't have been there, even though it makes no sense.
Did you get a cavity search? Did they do a cavity search on you?
I didn't do a cavity search. Is that a thing? Do they do that?
Sure. Your mom has.
Do they really?
Yeah, your mom gets them every time she travels.
Stop.
Yeah,
Stop.
even if she's like going to like Phoenix. Next thing I'm like, where did she go? Oh, she's getting escorted
so
off
out of
to
pocket. That's so
the
out of
back
pocket.
room. I'm like, well, I guess she's getting another one of those pat downs.
God.
Yeah. So there you have it. There's Jackson's epic long. We love Jackson's pretentious art house corner.
We do, don't we? Don't we all?
And you saw some good ones in there. You got a Monty Python.
Yeah.
And,
Long story short. Go watch Arrival. Go watch Monty Python. Yeah. Go watch This Is England. Go watch Funny Games.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say.
All right. It's the PGN podcast. Parental guidance is neglected here, as I have raised my son to appreciate film, maybe a bit too much, as we just now noticed from his art house reviews. As I said when he was gone, if you follow me on social media at Regan.Burns on the Insta, you'll see that I did go out and see both Megan and Plane. No real need to go off on them. I would say if you want to hear more about my thoughts on it, check my thoughts on that or on Letterboxd. But Jackson, for January, surprisingly, neither one horrible. I gave both of them a C. I think they weren't out to revolutionize film, but one was a campy, silly, kind of funny horror film, and the other one was just your paint by the numbers hijack film, but everyone involved did a good job with it. So far January was not letting me down, but would that be the same this weekend? I got 2 new movies I saw. Jackson has 1. We kind of split on which ones to hit. I'll start off with one that opened last week. This is called Alice Darling. It's directed by Mary.
I haven't heard of this.
Many people haven't. It's already leaving the theaters. It's the only reason you would know it is if you caught the trailer. The star of it is Anna Kendrick, of course, from all the Pitch Perfect movies. And whatever that Up and Away movie that she did with George Clooney. I don't know. Kendrick's been floating around. She's kind of been like waiting for that one big project that's going to make her a superstar. And you can see where this pretty much is the film that wants to do that. But despite a really good performance, she is good in this. It's really just Sleeping with the Enemy updated. And imagine if instead of it was a physically abusive husband, this is a narcissistic, emotionally controlling husband. She plays a young woman who's in a relationship that is so traumatic to her that she pulls her hair out a lot, and after lying to her boyfriend and saying she's going away on work, she tries to escape for a weekend in the woods with 2 of her friends to celebrate one of their birthdays. Needless to say, he finds out she lied to him, and pays a little visit. It's a short film. It's only about an hour and 25 minutes.
Oh, yeah, wow.
But Kendricks is very good in it. I'm not really sure what the point of the film is, besides that a lot of people are in emotionally destructive relationships and can feel almost like dirt or possession, especially a woman who happens to be fragile enough to allow that happen. I'm going to say, hey, Anna, great job. Obviously, you deserve to be a working actress. This is a great performance. But Alice Darling was a really just slightly below average film, but luckily only an hour and a half. So a C- for Alice Darling. It'll probably be streaming pretty quickly. Before
you move on, just because you said Cabin in the Woods made me think of this. When I went to go see the movie that I'm going to talk about in a minute, I saw the newest trailer for M. Night Shyamalan's new movie, Knock on the Cabin.
Knock on the Cabin, yeah. Which shows
and
the
it was
entire film.
The entire movie.
Yeah.
And I thought this might be the one. And after watching that, I'm like, maybe not. I've never been a big M. Night Shyamalan fan, but I wanted to hear your thoughts.
I was going to ask you about trailers. We could talk about this for a minute. Here's the thing about, I don't know what it is about M. Night Shyamalan. Man, how do
I know we both like Unbreakable a lot.
Unbreakable is still his best film. And I really like Split, which was the second in that trilogy. And then he just tanked it, just shat the bed with Glass to try to close out that so-called trilogy. And I appreciate The Sixth Sense, even though I wasn't fooled. And I even kind of liked, not Lady in the Water, that was bad. I kind of liked The Village. I thought it was okay.
Never saw it.
But
did you like Signs?
I did. I thought Signs was okay. I mean,
Yeah.
I
enjoyed Signs.
The problem is that I don't know. He has whoever edits his trailers makes you want to see them and go.
They do.
You're like, dag nabbit. The Happening with Mark Wahlberg was a pile of shit. But I kind of want to see Old, and then you see Old, and you're like, Old is horrible. And then you're like, but damn it, I want to know why these four people are knocking at the door on this cabin. Now, true, the new trailer for Knock at the Cabin, I think, gives away way too much.
Yeah.
Because I thought the whole cool thing about Knock at the Cabin was, are these people really trying to stop the apocalypse? Or are they just four psycho deranged people that think they're changing the course of humanity?
No, for sure.
Well, I'm not giving anything away. If you see the new trailer, they're not lying. They're obviously something supernatural going on.
But also, like, there was a moment where, like, the little girl escapes, and then it's like, oh my god, the girl escapes at one point. And then it's like, well, Dave Bautista just takes her and puts her back in the cabin. And it's like, well, that's a major plot point that you just completely gave up, and now I'm going to know not to feel the suspense in the movie.
So, I've never been... It's a funny thing. Jackson and I always share what trailers we're seeing before movies and our thoughts on them, and I love trailers, but I hate the ones that show too much. I'm like, just tease me. Just give me a little tease. That's the way it is with these Marvel movies. There's like 5 trailers. It's like first trailer tease, second tease, first official trailer, second official trailer, final official trailer. And by the time you've seen all 5 Marvel trailers, you're like, I've seen every minute of Ant-Man and Wasp: Quantumania. So
the only thing that isn't spoiled is like what happens in the final battle, and it's like the good guy's probably going to win anyways, so it's like the whole movie is just basically over.
Yeah. What did you think? Let's see. Have you seen the Renfield trailer?
No, I don't know what that is.
Oh, that's Ren. Oh, you have to check out Renfield. Renfield is a comedy.
Oh, I've heard of this though.
But
it's
guess who's
Nick
playing
Cage's Dracula.
Nick Cage is Dracula, and it looks horribly good. Like,
okay,
it's like if you're gonna let someone play,
I'm not
Dracula,
gonna get my hopes up because you were really rooting for his last movie that just
unbearable lightness of talent or whatever the hell. Measurable. What about Cocaine Bear? Have you seen the trailer for Cocaine Bear?
God, I'm so fucking excited for
Cocaine Bear.
What a stupid idea, but
so
I love it.
dumb.
I love it so much.
God.
I'll be first in line to see Cocaine Bear.
I hope it's not horrible, but yeah, you can't help but laugh at Cocaine Bear. John Wick. Are you ready for another John Wick movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm always ready for another John
They
Wick
look
movie.
so
They're so
good. They look so good.
They look so great. Yeah.
I know it's a lot of CGI action, but I don't care. I enjoy them.
But it is, but it's not. It's also a lot. It does a good mix of like.
No, it's
that's
got
actually
a lot of
impressive.
It's got some
fighting happening. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some practical in there as well. Do you care about Guardians? Nice.
I haven't seen the new trailer for it. It didn't play it. The only movie that I saw this week was a really underground one. So it was a lot of other underground. Movies.
I would go online. I would check out Renfield. I would check out the new Guardians of the Galaxy trailer. I'd just be curious your thoughts. You could tell us next week. I think you saw the trailer for this. The one movie I am kind of excited about, and my apologies to the filmmakers. I don't know who the director is, but Willem Dafoe's got a new movie called Inside. Where he's a thief locked inside a home.
Super excited for that. Directed by, I'll find it right now. I just looked it up.
Some foreign guy. That's one of those nice hiccup, brother.
Vasilis Katsoupis.
Good luck pronouncing that.
He's only done one other movie in 2015 called My Friend Larry Gus. So this is kind of his big breakout.
I don't
after
know.
years off the map. But I'm very excited for that. Love Willem Dafoe, and a one-man show from him sounds like a treat. So very excited for that.
Yeah, that looks like a good one. But other than that, I mean, I think we gotta kind of wait and see. I
know you mentioned it on the. Maybe you should talk about this. I don't know if you mentioned this in the podcast before, but you did see Broker too, right?
Yeah, I did. Broker was.
Which I really want to see.
Yeah, Broker. I saw when I think I posted a review of that. It's on my social media as well. Mm-hmm. It is a movie that many people thought should have been the official entry from, I guess it's Korea. Is it a Korean film for the Academy Award, and they actually passed on it and decided to put in some sci-fi action film or something that apparently has got some heat as well. Jackson made me watch Shoplifter, which was one of his first films, I think, and I enjoyed. I didn't love it quite as much as Jackson did, but there goes our dogs barking. Oh, your sister's home. And Broker to me was a very, very sweet film. Great performances. A little formulaic and a little bit in tone like Shoplifters. But I recall giving it I'll check online, but a very solid B. But enjoyed it. Sometimes it's... I don't mind a foreign film. And I enjoy many of them, but I don't know what it is about Korean. They talk so fast in Korea that the subtitles come so fast. Sometimes an entire scene, they're like, "What are you saying? What are you telling me? I didn't tell you that. You told me that. You get out of here right now." And I'm reading so much that I'm constantly like, "Everyone slow down talking so that I have a moment to not only read but to look up and watch your acting, if that makes sense."
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And sometimes these Korean films, for whatever reason, the subtitles go very, very quickly. But it didn't ruin the film for me. No, I enjoyed it. Broker.
Cool.
Yeah, there you have it. Jackson, I went and saw Alice Darling as well as one other film. But before I get to my last one, you called me. I said, well, let's go see Infinity Pool. That'll be the one we see together. And I thought, oh, that's going to be right up your alley. And you're like, no, Dad, there's a film that's even whacker than that. And
Skinamarink.
You mentioned the name. What is it again? Say it.
It's called Skinamarink.
First off, I was like, Jackson, is this playing in one little theater in the middle of nowhere? Because you showed me the trailer and it looked absolutely horrific. And then I noticed, no, it's actually playing in some AMCs and some regular theaters.
Yeah, so I was looking into it. So what happened is this movie got a lot of buzz because it originally leaked online and people were watching it, and it kind of turned into a challenge of like, oh, try to watch Skinamarink challenge because it's scary.
Okay.
And then it got taken back because obviously the copyright issues, it got taken down.
Right.
And then the trailer dropped and it got a bunch of interest again. People being like, oh, this is like a super terrifying movie. Like, you guys got to see this.
And what is the name of it again?
Skinamarink, like the song, like the old kid song, like Fable type deal.
Skinamarink? I've never heard of that.
Skinamarink, like Skinamarink. I don't know how it goes, but it's some word.
My darling.
And so Skinamarink is what's called analog horror. I don't know if you've ever heard that term, but it's basically just horror it's like Blair Witch type deal, where it's like filmed on a bad camera, but it's purposefully
made to look really bad and homemade.
Yeah. Exactly, but don't let the Blair Witch comparison like get to you. It's not like Blair Witch at all. It's like very different from that. Okay. This is a movie that is very reminiscent. You're not going to get what I'm talking about right now, but I'm sure people my age will. It's very like old YouTube horror, like Adult Swim short film type vibes. I'm getting a lot of. If you guys know what This House Has People in It is, it reminded me a lot of that. And it's kind of so Skinamarink. It's there's no music the whole time. It's all diegetic. You never see anyone's faces. It's like it's weird in that way. But
you never see anyone's face.
No faces the whole time. But it follows two children who live in this house.
How do we not see their parents?
Face? Their faces aren't shot. Like they're not in the shot.
Oh, so it's like the back of their heads or something, or.
Yeah, there is one time where you see their face, but it's like not their face. It's like different, but whatever.
Oh my god.
It's you would hate it. I love this movie.
What?
I loved it. It was very reminiscent of a lot of the YouTube horror stuff that I grew up with. I loved the kind of.
I didn't even know you grew up with YouTube horror stuff. Were you
it was
watching
a lot
this
of,
in my home? I don't remember you curled up.
It
with
wasn't like
YouTube
horror, but it's a lot of like old short. See, you don't know what I'm talking about, so this is why it's not a conversation. But it's like
that's why it's
Alan
called the
Resnick
PGN
type
podcast.
Adult Swim like short films. But it was a lot. It was a lot of commentary about child neglect and foster care system and stuff like that, but in a really cool and unique way. It really does a good job of bringing you back to that kind of childlike state of having to look at things in the dark and being like, oh, is that someone's face or is that a blanket? I can't tell. The tension building is so good in this. I was sitting in the theater. I was almost alone. There was a couple people behind me, but there was no one in front of me, no one on my side, and so I'm just kind of sitting in the theater like this the whole time, just because I can't. I don't know what's going on, and it did such a good job of wrapping up. Really great commentary. Such a solid way to start the year for movies, in my opinion. I know this isn't going to get any recognition in awards and stuff, but I'm so excited to see what this director does next. Skinamarink gets a 9 out of 10 from me.
9 out of 10.
Loved this movie.
I want you to look up the film on Rotten Tomatoes right now and tell me what the critic score is and the audience score.
I will say the reason why I wanted to see this is because it's getting extraordinarily split reviews. People are either loving this thing or just like, what? Like, that was such a piece of crap. I just watched people stand in a corner for 2 hours.
Wow.
So the audience score is getting
Go ahead.
Is getting a 43% right now. 43%. But the critic score is getting a 73. So it seems more split.
Wow.
But
read to me the critics' consensus. You know how they do like a
Skinamarink can be more confounding than frightening, but for viewers able or willing to dial into its unique wavelength, this unsettling film will be difficult to shake.
Yeah, I'm gonna pass.
And then the audience says, for some it might be scary, but for a lot of viewers, Skinamarink is just frighteningly dull. You would have hated this, but this was right up my alley.
Wow.
It really, really did a good job of tapping into that fear that only you can have as a child.
Was it like?
And also, it really brought me back to. There were a couple, but there was so much restraint. It was almost all just pure tension, just waiting for something like to happen in the dark and just looking and being like, oh my god, I can't tell if that's a person or not.
I don't know if I want to sit in the theater for an hour and a half waiting for something to happen.
It was. I know.
Did anything ever happen? Did anything ever happen?
Yeah, there was. Yeah, it did. I know you would have absolutely hated this movie, but it was the perfect. It was my kind of movie for just the stuff that I like, and also just the stuff that I grew up on. I got a lot of the influences, and I really appreciated that.
Wow. What about your mother? Would your mother like it?
She would have hated it. She would have walked out.
She would have walked out.
5 minutes in. 5 minutes in, she would have walked out. Yeah.
She's out.
But not because she would have disliked, not because it would have been like boring, because she would have been too scared. She would be like, all right, I'm out. I'm done.
Wow. Huh. Interesting. Okay. Skinamarink.
Yeah.
Okay.
An early contender for a top 10 of the year-end list, which is crazy. No, I'm just saying it has the ability because it got a 9. That's all I'm saying. It's like I had 8s on my year-end list this year, so I'm just saying that's crazy that this early on we're getting a gold mine for me.
Skinamarink. Okay, if you can find theater out there, I saw it on a couple theater billboards.
Yeah, it's fun.
So could play. Well, the movie that I tried to talk Jackson into seeing because I wanted to be equally tortured. I wanted him to feel my pain is the insanely crazy new film called Infinity Pool. Now, for those who have seen the trailers or have heard about it, or I say have not seen or heard, this is a movie from Brandon Cronenberg. Brandon Cronenberg, this is his second big film. He did one a couple years ago called Possessor that got no heat. Brandon Cronenberg is the son of acclaimed film director David Cronenberg, who I have enjoyed some of David Cronenberg's films, The Fly, Dead Ringers, and others I have not. Most notably, the movie Crimes of the Future, which was the top of my list last year as my least favorite film.
Yeah.
Because we try to look at the glass half full. We don't use the W word. It was by far my least favorite film of last year. And this movie looks like another, like Cronenberg on acid. With that said, it is the story of a couple played by Alexander Skarsgård and I think Cleopatra. Look up her last name for me, would you, Jackson? Just give her credit. They are a young couple who are on vacation in a fictional country of a name called La Tolka or La Tolke.
Cleopatra Coleman.
Cleopatra Coleman. They are a young couple. She is wealthy. He is a washed-up writer who released a novel about 6 years ago and hasn't done anything since. They are approached by another couple made up of Mia Goth is, without a doubt, she is the Chloe Sevigny of this generation. She is an insane actress.
Yeah.
I loved her in Pearl and thought she was good in X, but she's definitely whack. And she is, I don't think there is anything this woman will not do on screen, and it's shown in the movie Infinity Pool. Mia Goth and her significant other approached them at this resort, talked them into going off the resort for a little vacation. An unfortunate accident involving the death of a local farmer ensues, and the police come into play. Without giving away too much of the movie, Alexander Skarsgård is found guilty of killing this man, and in this fictional country, almost all crimes are punishable by execution. However, if you're rich enough, they have the technology in this country to make a doppelganger of yourself who will have all your memories, and then they will execute the doppelganger in place of you. If you think that's weird, it only gets stranger. That's just the first 25 minutes of the movie. This movie is psychedelic. It is filled with violence, gore, sex. Mia Goth is insane. Skarsgård, God bless him, he goes for it. I'm starting to feel like he is the kind of actor who looks like a leading man but refuses to do leading man parts. He wants to do these esoteric, artistic endeavors, and this is certainly one of them. This is the kind of movie that I hate.
Yeah, I know.
But
I was waiting for it.
But I kind of enjoyed it, Jackson.
Really? Okay.
It is so. First off, this is your film. You need to go see Infinity Pool.
I will go see it. But I'm trepid, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Okay. So when you sent me the trailer, and I wasn't the biggest fan of the trailer. It didn't really grab me.
I wasn't
I don't know
either.
if that's going to be an issue.
I went into this fighting tooth and nail. I'm like, I have to see a new movie for the fans. Nothing about the trailer made me want to see it.
And after watching it, I went, before you even told me, I was like, okay, that looks like some Cronenberg type thing.
Yes.
And obviously it is, but it's a different Cronenberg.
Yeah.
Do you think that's weird?
Yes.
It kind of rubs you the wrong way where I'm like, okay, obviously, I mean, there's a lot of talk nowadays about nepotism babies or whatever.
Right.
And it's one thing. I don't really mind if it's like, okay, a director's son gets a big break and gets to make a movie. Whatever. Who cares? It's not the end of the world.
Right.
But you can at least do something different than just the same stuff your dad did.
Here's the
argument. It feels like I'm watching, I mean, obviously the movie, I'm just saying as far as from an outside perspective, I look at it and I go, did you really, you kind of look what your dad did and went, I'm going to make that. Like, just a new story, you know? Like, I would appreciate... It's like if Sofia Coppola did like a mob movie. It would be like, well, what do you... Now you're just doing the same thing.
I wouldn't say... I can see your point, and I can also make the argument, look, if I'm a plumber, Jackson, and your whole life you grow up coming to work with me and seeing the way I plumb, the way I...
Nice.
The way
nice.
The way I plumb things, you know, the way I repair and the way... And you go, this is what I want to do. I love plumbing. It's not like you're to grow up and go, well, I'm going to be a plumber like my father, but I'm not going to connect pipes the way he did. I have my own way of connecting pipes.
I get that. I mean, I get that for sure.
Yeah.
I just wish there was a little more I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, do you not? Is there nothing you want to do differently?
I would say to this, as Cronenberg-esque as the trailer looks, and as Cronenberg-esque as the subject matter is, I do feel like he brought some of his own style to this. There's a lot of strobe lighting. There's a warning before the film that a lot of the lighting effects could cause epilepsy, and you know, look, I'm not going to say it's fantastic, but I was like, I was just captivated because I'm like, how crazier can this get? And it did. And unlike Crimes of the Future from last year, his father's movie, where I go, I don't know what's even going on. None of this even makes sense logically. I kind of got what was going on here. And it has a great ending. And I do think he has something to say, even if it's kind of in a Faustian way, about, you know, the hedonism that comes along with being narcissistic, and how elites get to live their lives without consequence. And you know, it held my interest. Again, here we are in January. I'm supposed to hate everything. I was pleasantly surprised that I didn't hate it. Maybe that's why I'm coming out a little more positive. Yeah. I'm giving Infinity Pool a B-.
Wow. Okay. That's a shocker. I thought you would really not like this.
There is nothing about this film that I should like. There really isn't. It is so whack. Yeah. It's got the camera stuff. I think you're gonna be like, oh, you're gonna have your little DP. Ooh, he's doing all. It looks crazy. Mia Goth is nuts.
I'm interested now.
I don't know what happened to her eyebrows, but she every time she's on camera, her face freaks me out. Skarsgård is like balls to the wall. The ending is so whack. But
all right. I'm in.
I really do think before it leaves theaters, you need to go see Infinity Pool.
Okay, I'll make plans.
Because I want to hear. Because if this is a movie that you hate, then I'm like, I don't know what you like. I don't have a vibe on you. I don't have a vibe.
All right.
Yeah, so there you have it. So here we are. We're back. Does it feel good to be back? Do you feel? I know you've been overwhelmed a little bit by this week of getting back. You're working on projects. You're getting settled back in. I see you have a new room back there.
Yeah, I moved into I didn't leave the dorm. It's just a different room because I was in a smaller room, but the person who was living here is now abroad, so I moved in here. Look at you. I like the new room a lot. It took a lot of time to get everything together, but everything's put together now. Everything's put away. I've got a clean slate to get the year started. Right. Yeah, I'm feeling good. Good.
Well, preview of next week. We will be back. I'm sure we'll be talking about more stuff with Jackson's first week of school. We're all going to want to know how that went, Jackson. We're going to want to know about your teachers. We're going to want to know about all your new friends that you made on your first day
I actually
of
have a story real quick.
Please.
Because I got an email yesterday from one of my teachers being like, hey, just a heads up, we're going to be on Zoom for the first week because I got hit by a car and I've been in the hospital for 2 days.
Oh, my.
Yeah, so he's fine. I just thought that was funny that was my first introduction to this teacher. Is he teaching from the hospital or... I think he's back home now.
So he's
the way
home.
he was talking made it seem like he was back home now. Yeah.
What if he's like?
That'd be nuts though if he was teaching in the hospital bed.
What if this is really like the movie The Whale, and he's like an obese 400-pound man, and this is the story he comes up with every time.
There's 1 week. We've got 1 week left to really nail down the curriculum.
The next week something else happens where he's like, "Oh, I have to teach from Zoom because."
I want you to write me something that.
Yeah.
Did you get that? Did you get that video I sent you? By the way, where the guy's
it
like,
was very funny doing
the
the impersonation of the whale. I liked it more than you did. That's what you do.
Yeah.
I talked to Jackson earlier. We've got 2 big new movies opening next weekend. We decided to split it again. I'm going to go see M. Night Shyamalan's Knock at the Cabin, and Jackson said he would go see 80 for Brady with the very talented Sally Field.
See, I was wondering where you were going with this because we didn't have a conversation beforehand, and I was like, wait, maybe we did, and I forgot.
Doesn't that sound fair? I'll tell you what, I'll see Knock at the Cabin next week, and you can see 80 for Brady. No? You don't want to see Jane
I'll wait
Fonda?
for the DVD. I'll wait for the very swift DVD release.
You know what, Jackson? I care about my fans. Maybe I'll go see 80 for Brady next week.
You know what? Then you go do that then.
Yeah,
you have so much fun with that.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what.
Is that the new movie? Is M. Night Shyamalan, is Knock at the Cabin the new movie, though?
Yeah, next week is not. We'll be back with a review of Knock at the Cabin. Maybe I'll see 80 for Brady. Maybe if Jackson can sneak away, he'll see Infinity Pool. And I guarantee he'll have at least 15 new pretentious art house films that you guys will rush right out to never see. Jackson, where can people follow you on the social media?
Yeah, you guys can follow me at Jackson N. Burns on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, just Jackson Burns, all that fun stuff.
What about the Snapchat? Do you still have you outgrown that? Or
Snapchat's a personal thing. Snapchat's more of just like a close friends.
That's like close friends
thing.
And stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What's going to be
Not
the next?
public.
What's the next big one? Is there going to be another like?
Have you heard of Be Real?
Be Real? They did an
Have you
SNL.
heard about that?
Didn't they do like an SNL sketch on
They
that?
probably
or something?
did. It's like I'm actually mutual friends with I think one of the people that developed it, which is weird. But it's basically like twice a day you get an alert that says, "Hey, it's time to be real," and you have 2 minutes to take a selfie of yourself. And so it's basically like, it's like social media, but you can't avoid. Like it's not like you have time to prep a picture. You just take a picture of what you're doing, and then that's your Be Real for the day.
Okay, but wouldn't you know that today's Be Reals at 1:15? You could take 2 hours to get ready.
They're
for
random.
They're random.
But also you can do late Be Reals, which kind of like why? What's the point then? Because I can just take a picture whenever I want to. It's not like it's a. I don't get it that much. I have it just to see stuff, but
has your generation figured out yet that we really don't give a shit about what you're doing 24/7? I mean, why does everyone think I need to know a picture of everywhere you're at every moment in time? It'll take a little while.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it annoying at college? Is social media a thing at college? It's just like. Do you go to college events and everyone's on their phone posting, and you're like, could we just take a moment to enjoy what's happening?
Not really. I think it depends on the event.
You don't go to like parties and everyone's on their phones and like, let's take a picture of me by the keg.
People will usually like take time to take pictures before they go to a party, and then once you're there, it's like you're there.
Then they're there. Well, that's good.
And no one wants pictures on social media of them doing keggers anyways. It's not like it's like I want to promote. No one's like, I need to promote my heavy drinking lifestyle to all my followers.
Oh, look at me! I've got a problem. Woo!
Yeah.
Hashtag rehab.
College.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you can follow me on Instagram at Regan.Burns, and of course, follow the PGN podcast on Instagram as well. And make sure to like and subscribe us on Spotify or YouTube, wherever you are watching or listening to us. Jackson, welcome back. It's 2023. At this time last year, we had no idea that a little movie called Everything, Everywhere, All at Once would be your favorite film. And for all knows, apparently Skinamarink, My Darling, maybe, or whatever the hell that's called, might be your favorite film this year. Let's see what it holds in store for us.
We'll see what happens, yeah.
All right, go steady. We'll see you guys next time.
Sounds good.
Love you, buddy.
Love you. Bye.